Thanks for sticking with us tonight. Right now, 11 News investigates as the mom of an 11-year-old Colorado Springs boy stabbed in the back and left for dead is questioning why her son's alleged 13-year-old attacker was allowed out on the streets to cross paths with her son. This is despite previous attempted murder charges for stabbing another allegedly. Our 11 News investigation team has tracked this case for months now after Springs police originally arrested the wrong 10-year-old boy.
Now our exclusive reporting continues with another mother's frustrations over the juvenile justice system in the state of Colorado, a system she says has so far failed to protect her family. Here's Matt Kroschel.
I couldn't wrap my head around something that horrible happening.
These are images from inside Children's Hospital.
Chaplain was there to meet me, which made me even more nervous.
Valerie's son's lung filled with fluid.
Stab him in the back and leave him for dead.
His accused attacker, a 13-year-old girl, was eventually arrested after DNA evidence linked her to the knife found at the scene of the crime in this apartment complex in Colorado Springs. That DNA allegedly linked to another armed robbery case. The 13-year-old girl is now facing felony charges in that crime, too.
I say it's the fault of the system because she had an attempted murder charge against her in June before this happened, and they had just let her live right here and go to the park and go to the clubhouse and do whatever she wanted to do after she stabbed family members. Plural, I believe. That's what the state's attorney said.
11 News petitioned the courts to gain access to arrest documents in the string of serious cases. And we've independently confirmed the 13-year-old was let out of a detention center after the first attempted murder charges because of a lack of bed space inside. Instead, ordered to wear a GPS monitoring device, but that did not have the same limitations on movement as the adult version does.
What has happened to your son has now spilled over and has impacted other families that live in the area.
Yes.
So what is your message to that other family?
It's just super unfortunate for that little boy, and I feel we all, even the police, were saying how terrible. And
they feel terrible because before the 13-year-old's arrest, Colorado Springs police investigators picked up another kid and charged him for the crime. The family of that child, who has since been released and the charges dropped, believe police rushed to arrest him despite their video evidence they say proved he was not near the scene. That mistaken identity stems from Valerie's son's initial description of his attacker, a description that Valerie says matches both the 10-year-old boy and the 13-year-old.
I don't really believe it was the police's fault. In fact, I thought they solved the crime quickly. My son really thought it was his friend, so they were taking his word for it. And unfortunately, this other boy looks identical. They have the same hair bun, the same skin tone, the same
Even though
earrings.
one is male and one is female and they're separated by 3 years.
Exactly. But
meanwhile, Valerie says her family feels for the family of the original suspect caught up in this case.
It was traumatic for my son, it was traumatic for him. They need to do something about the juvenile justice system to make sure that these violent juveniles aren't just allowed to roam free.
And this mom is promising to be at every court hearing in the front row.
We're all going to show up and make sure that justice is served for my son, and for the other little boy that got tangled into this.
Just the latest in a twisted tale working through the kid courts. I'm Matt Kroschel. 11 Investigates.
Matt is still waiting for a judge to rule on his motion in this case to allow us to review more documents. We plan on being at that next hearing and following up with you on what happens next.